People are realizing that you are ethereal. Like, you're living in this world, but you're not of this world. Like, you're just so different. Because people trying to figure out, how are you the way that you are? Like, how do you operate that way? Like, how do you do things in the way that you do it? You know? And it's like being around you, being around your energy, it's like being around an alien. Like, your energy is so foreign. You may be foreign, like, you may be foreign. I guess anybody can be foreign technically, but like, you know, you may just be like of like foreign country or something, you know. And it's just like, it's not even that makes you ethereal. It's just the combination of who you are, like just your essence, you know. It's just, even if you go and stay where you're from, you still feel like an alien, you know, to the people around you, because it's just like, you just, you know, you're so different. Like, it's the way you react to things, the way you do things. Just, people are realizing, like, it's not a gimmick either. It's just who you are. Because I feel like there's some people that are waiting for you to mess up. You know, they're waiting for you to slip up. Like, they're waiting for the act to, you know, die out. But it's not an act. It's just who you are, you know. And it's just like, people don't know if they love you or they hate you. You know, people cannot accept what they don't comprehend for the most part. People have a hard time accepting what they don't really understand, you know. And I feel like that's the hard part about being you. It's just like, you just trying to be you, but you can't even be you in peace, you know, because you're too fascinating. And people have a different way of going about the fascination that they have for you, you know. And you are also like a walking trigger bomb, because you're so authentic, you're so yourself. You trigger a lot of people, you know. And that results in people like literally always looking for something to be wrong with you, you know, because it's like, there's no way that this person makes me feel like that. Like, who does this person think they are? Whole T, you're not even doing nothing but being yourself. Like, that's it. And so it's like, okay, they're ethereal. They're not familiar, you know. And it's like, it's this realization that's being had of you. And I feel like there's people that's really missing your energy, because it's really easy to get so comfortable in your energy and just think that, you know, you're gonna come around someone like you again. But it's like, that's a once in a lifetime thing. Okay, it's like people realizing, dang, like, I should have treasured, admired, accepted, and I should have been grateful for that person when they were around me. You know, I should have treated them accordingly. And it's like, when you're gone, you're gone. There's no coming back. Oh, listen to that song, Dark Horse by Katy Perry. Yes. She's like, are you ready for it? My voice is gone. She's like, are you ready for a perfect storm, perfect storm? Cause once your mind, there's no going back. She's a beast. Okay, the lyrics in that song are very essential, actually. Listen to that song, because you will relate to that song, okay? It's like, people meet you and, you know, they may find you attractive, and then they meet you and they realize that there's so much more to you. Like, they're realizing that, yes, you're attractive, but it wasn't even your beauty that attracted them to you. It was your essence, your energy. Like, yes, it's your beauty, Your beauty is nice to look at, but your beauty stems from the inside out. And so it's the inside beauty, the inside essence, your aura that really attract people to you. They don't realize that. They think it's just your outer appearance, you know? And so, like, you're causing a lot of awakenings because you have different way of doing things. Like, you just have a different way of being. And a lot of people are so stuck in, like, a one-sided way of being, like stuck in a box, and you are like freeing yourself. You know, you're eccentric, and that's just causing trigger bombs, tower moments. You know, like that's ruffling the little feathers in some people. Cause how dare you? How dare you come and show them different? You know, how dare you come and just be someone that they only see like in movies or TV or something. Like, people didn't realize like they can actually meet someone like you in real life. Like, when people meet you, they're like, there's no way someone like this actually exists. You know, like, aren't you like a fib? Like, aren't you like a story people tell, but not really true? You know, and it's like, it's unfortunate though, because it's like, when people put you on a pedestal and, you know, they see you as this perfect person, it's like people have their own perception of what perfect is. So once people see you in that limelight, they expect you to be one way. You're not one way. That's the whole point. You know, you have so many layers to you, you know. And yeah, like, there's so much depth to you. And I feel like that's why people want to just so bad try to find something wrong with you. And it's like, at the end of the day, you're going to make mistakes. You're not perfect. You're still having this human experience like everyone else. But what's different about you is that you learn from your mistakes. You know, your mistakes eventually turn into wisdom because you hold yourself accountable. You learn from it and you move accordingly. You know, and not everybody can even admit that they made a mistake. You know, and there's a lot of things that just make you different. You know, and yeah, it's like people want to know how you are the way you are. And little do people know, it's like, it's because you're so tapped in with God. When you're so tapped in with God, you're on the winning team. You know, when you're so tapped in with God, it's like you're going to appear odd to most people, because being tapped in with God means being a rebel to the world. Okay? It means being disobedient to the world. Okay? Because you're following God. Okay? You're tuned in with Source. Okay? And that doesn't look like how people think it looks like. When you're really on that type of time, you're going to be casted out. You know, it's going to feel like you're otherworldly, you know. And that's because you're now like ascending into a new timeline, you know. And like, it's like people are realizing like, dang, I should have got on the winning team. That was the winning team the whole time. I should have got on the winning team. You know what I mean? Because it's like, with you, if people are for you, they're winning right with you. The moment they're against you, you know, because you're not bothering anyone, you uplift people. You know, you genuinely want the best for others. You know, and people even want to figure out, like, why are you that way? Because you may be someone that has so many reasons to not be. So, you're confusing, okay? And your job is not shrink for anyone, okay? Your job is to stand your ground, stand your power, stand in your truth. Okay, it's like, yes, read the room, say what needs to be said, but always stand up for yourself. You know, don't say more than you need to, but don't hold back from standing up for yourself either. You know, like, you're realizing that, like, your job, like, now you know who you are, you know, because at the end of the day, once you tap in with God, you are now I am. Okay, so it's only positive things that you're speaking into your life, into yourself. Okay, so you know who you are. And job is to, to not shrink for anyone, to stay in your truth, stand in your ground, okay? Because I know that, sometimes you do start questioning yourself, you do start feeling alone and neglected, and feeling like you don't really have a community. And that's why God wants you to really like create that for yourself, create a safe space for yourself. And yes, you're rare, but you're not alone, all right? Even if people want to call you crazy, it's like you gotta kind of go crazy in this world to wake up, okay? Because this world wants to keep you so, blindfolded. So it's like, at the end of the day, it's not being crazy, it's just that you're aware. You are very aware, okay? And you're only becoming more and more aware of yourself, of the world we live in, of your surroundings, you see, okay? You see right through things, people, situations. And so, like, you just have to understand that combo. It's like, there's not many people walking around with that type, of intuition, that type of glow, that type of strength, But yeah, just keep going, keep focusing on you. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, it's like, just keep pointing to yourself and doing you and showing people that there's a reason why you're the way you are. Okay, you're the walking truth. Okay, when they see that the results of being that way, like, you're actually going to encourage people to want to, be their authentic selves, and those who want to take accountability and, who want to be inspired by that will be inspired by that. But if they don't want to, that's really not on you, It is what it is. Like, at the end of the day, just protect your energy, protect your energy, but never change. You're only becoming a better version of yourself, okay? And, like, greatness awaits you for sure, because it's like, to even be that type of person is like, you are a great person, so why wouldn't greatness await you? You know what I mean? You live in gratitude. You're full of greatness. Okay? So yeah. Don't even shrink. Don't you're in a season where you're no longer doing that. It no longer resonates with you to shrink. You can only be you. You can only be yourself. Okay? And if people don't want to accept you for that, that has nothing to do with you. At this point, you understand why. You're like, shit, I know who I am, okay? And I know it's only a certain type of people that's going to resonate with me. I'm rare. I'm a rare gem, okay? And that's the realizations you're having. And so at this point, you're just moving accordingly. Like, I just know that God does not play about you, okay? Your spirit team does not play about you. Your angels and your spirit guides do not play about you, all right? The minute you realize your worth and you know what's meant for you, the universe is just conspiring to, make that reality true in the physical form, okay? Like, that's all that is. And, it's like, a lot of times when you start walking in your power, a lot of things, people, situations are going to be removed in your life, because the universe has to make room for this new person you're being. Like, you were always ethereal, but now that you're owning your power and walking in it, you're now attracting the lifestyle that resonates with that. All right, and room has to be made for the new to arrive. Okay, because the new is not going to arrive on top of the old. Okay, a solid foundation is being laid out for you, queen, king, empress, emperor. That's the type of vibes. Ethereal, okay, very high status. You're a very high status, okay? And yeah, like, it's like there's celebrations happening right now in the spirit realm. Like, finally, like, collective is in your power, okay? Finally, collective is standing in their truth, standing up for themselves. Finally, collective is no longer shrinking. Finally, okay? 'Tis the season. But no, like, greatness really awaits you. Keep being you, okay? Love you, and I'll see you next time.